Good afternoon, everyone. This is Peter Stone. I am here in Lemmer, Netherlands, and I was visiting a client who is going to be doing distribution for the Peter Stone dye silver jewelry line. He's located here in the Netherlands. I caught up with him at the boot show in Dusseldorf. So last night I was looking for his location on the map, and in doing so, well, I love to explore maps, and I found all this water and all these homes in this town close by him. It's about 35 miles away. The name of this town is called Lemmer, and it appears there is more waterways than land here. So, being one that loves the sea myself so much, I said, well, after I visit my customer, I'll come here. But I also mentioned to him, since he's a dive equipment distributor and he's going to be carrying the dye silver line exclusively in the Netherlands, Belgium, and into Germany and Italy. We had a meeting for a couple of hours this morning, and after that meeting I mentioned to him that dye silver jewelry really is for the resort and gift store by the sea, gift shop, and jewelry stores by the sea. So I mentioned to him him and her, that Lemmer was so close by. And here I am in Lemmer, and by the way, when I got out of my car, I saw a shoe store. And one of my bags went missing on this trip, which is very unusual, but it didn't go missing on the plane. It was in the transport van from the airport to my car rental place, and that's another story that I shall share some wisdom on. But no matter, I needed a pair of shoes. So I went into this store, and I love clogs. And the Netherlands is the land of clogs for sure. So I found an original clogs made in the Netherlands. Number one, bought in the Netherlands, which adds some cultural value for me and for the quality of the shoes. So here in this village, there's a beautiful little bakery here. I will go in and get a cup of coffee, for which I am looking. The European baked foods, for those of you that are from Europe, you know how wonderful it is, and for those of you that just get a rare chance to visit, it's really a festive treat. And my diet, as you know, mostly is greens and salads and organic things. And so at the Airbnb we're staying, that is about I don't know, maybe an hour away from here, 45 minutes. We found a store, got plenty of organic things and salad last night, but I'll tell you what, I do not cheat myself out of the wonders and the skills of great bakers. I absolutely join in and make the most of the baker's skills and talents. So yesterday, leaving the little town in Langladum in Germany, a little bit north of Dusseldorf, I went shopping and I found my favorite cinnamon roll, done German style, very dense, a lot of cinnamon, very little sugar. And so I bought one of those. I didn't buy three, and I could have easily done three, but one was sufficient. And I had some local coffee along with that with my lunch and headed up to the Netherlands. So the message that I want to share here is a couple that travel is amazing, and I see here in the summertime this is going to be a busy little area that the Dive Silver line will do very well in, along with the other Peterstone jewelry, all the nautical, sea life. And this is a very cool little town, pretty empty right now. It's kind of the way I like it. I really don't like to be in crowds of people. I travel on Thanksgiving. I travel on holidays to keep away from the traffic while everyone's eating on their kitchen table. I'm traveling, and I'm eating on my kitchen table while they're traveling. So, to make life the most pleasurable, I don't go with the masses. I don't go with the crowds. I don't go with the 9 to 5. So this is a treat here from my desire to do business around the world and to enjoy all the beautiful things that the world has to offer. So I'm going to walk over this little bridge and continue on this discovery, because I have never been here, at least in this lifetime, to this town that I know of. And this is the Dutch culture at its finest. The beautiful little sailboats that run up and down the rivers here, and the harbors, and being sometimes below sea level. I mean, what a cool little town. And I didn't know it existed. It's really beautiful here, very European, and clean and neat. And I would say, if you're in Northern Europe, you're really going to want to visit this place. And in the summertime, I will come through here on a weekday, not on a weekend, because I can imagine just how busy this place will be. And I will certainly capitalize on that with the jewelry that I do have to offer the people. They really love Dive silver jewelry in Europe, in Germany, and the people that I just got through speaking with and meeting with, they are longtime customers of Dive Silver from 2007. They remember my daughter, and this is the thing about traveling and doing business. So we were living in England in 2007, 2008, 2009, and we had this distributor in the Netherlands. So we, as a family, hopped in to the estate wagon and drove all through Europe. But what did we do? We drove together as a family for 3 weeks straight. But we're doing business, and we're discovering, and we're going to carnivals and fairs. And my daughter's 8 years old at that time. We went to the Munich jewelry fair. This was the summer we went to the Dive distributor, and the woman, she remembers my daughter Brianna, who is just 8 years old, not 7, 8 years old at the time. And I said, well, here it is, 2018. She's graduating from high school this year. So time moves along. But you want to be able to bring your family and your loved ones where your work is not work at all. It's really fun, and it's a pleasure. And yeah, I mean, yes, we sit down, we roll up our sleeves, we do what we call work. The family's in the other room, and maybe the family's working together. But it does not have to be a drudgery, which is my whole point of this, that you can bring your family along, as I did, hopped in our car and drove for 3 weeks. We went to France, into Belgium, into the Netherlands, up to a town called Leek, and visited up with the distributors there in northern Germany. Spent the night there, breakfast in a wonderful cafe. Then went on to Nuremberg to a distributor there for a different line of Peterstone jewelry. Then we went on to Prague, and we walked from one end of Prague to the other, the whole family. We went to this underground Celtic restaurant with a tree running down the center of it, just amazing. And the person who took us there, our distributor there in Prague, fenced and did historic reenactments and was totally engaged in a Renaissance type lifestyle today, selling Celtic jewelry. Then we went on to Poland, but before we got to Poland, we were leaving Prague, and in the Czech Republic there was a fair on a Sunday morning. And it was amazing because it was going back. The beginning of the fair had very traditional foods and things that were cooked for centuries. I think it went back 5, 6, maybe 8 centuries in time. The way they cooked, the way they baked things, the way they even fried them. But it was an experience that I just would never have seen. Then we kept on driving and we came to this zip line way out in the middle of nowhere that was really long. I don't know, it must have been a half a kilometer long. So my daughter, she's 8, I was like, Brianna, come on, let's go. There's no crowds at this place. It's out in the fresh air in the countryside. So she went and did this zip line and we left. And then we saw an ice cream stand on the way out. And what happened to be was, well, they don't use chemicals where we were, so it's an organic ice cream. The cows giving milk right from the farms that are just down the street and making the ice cream fresh there. I just have to tell you, that kind of experience, that life experience, nothing is manufactured. It's created by hand, and it's really the best of the best. When you're out touching ground, being grounded, and it's not the mass manufacturing where you lose quality, lose flavor, and lose touch with life. That's the most important thing, is driving along the road and touching the lives of others and having others touch your lives with their fantastic skills and creativity and being who they are, being the best of who they are, giving the best of of what they have, whatever it is, a baker, an ice cream maker. And there you have it, the village town bell. I'm not sure what time it is, but in Manchester by the Sea we have a bell every 1 hour. But here they have a bit of an orchestration in this little town called Lemmer in the north of the Netherlands. It's coming from that church back there in that steeple. What a treat. So as I was saying, somebody likes town bells, and the people in this town obviously like them. And I, as a visitor, am the recipient of the upside, as are all the people that live here. So these look like they're mostly summertime shops here. Anyway, back to my trip, going from England to the Netherlands to Germany and then into Prague. And then we ended up going into Poland, and we were going to go to Italy, but quite frankly, all three of us in an estate wagon driving through Europe for 3 weeks was kind of enough. And so we decided, well, we'll come back and continue our journey driving from Italy, going east into Croatia and other such beautiful places, which I met in Prague, some really amazing people from Hungary. Made some great contacts there, as well as Slovenia and Montenegro. So a lot of new horizons coming in the future. And so I wanted to share this town of Lemmer. The sun is shining today. It rained last night pretty heavily, and I knew after the heavy rain comes the beautiful sunshine. So when you're complaining about the rain, if you do, if you don't, good on you. But if you do, realize it's the sun, the sunshine, always follows the rain. The brightness always follows the darkness. The happiness always follows the sadness. If there